Good evening, race fans. I'm Pirate here, Black Flag Racing TV. That was a little bit too long, wasn't it? What can I say? It's been a long week already, and it's still going on. We are here. This is late night racing F1. We are now 3 weeks into the new season, and things are already looking spicy. So how are we getting on for the season thus far? I hear you cry. I will tell you as we move on to the United States of America. Fuck yeah! That's how the Drivers' Championship looks after 2 races. The reigning champion, the 2-time reigning champion, Dunners, currently leads the way in the Ferrari on 55 points, already 20 points clear of Ryan, who's having a bit of a purple patch already this season on 35 points. Danny in the McLaren just 2 points behind on 33. Drew Cam on 30 points. BC Games, new driver this season, in that top 5. Reflection, he didn't see himself in the top 10, but he can now. He's new to this season as well. Riley in 7th position, joint with Blumchum in the Williams. 2 Williams drivers in that top 10, as well as 2 Ferrari drivers. Moggy is in 8th, he's joint with the Hunter, also on 18 points. And then everyone else outside of that top 10 currently. Constructors' Championship looks a little bit like this. Ferrari lead the way, 85 points. Williams in 2nd, 57. Red Bull ran out of top 3 with 40 points, but still all to play for across the board. Red Bull, McLaren, AlphaTauri, Haas, all within a few points of each other. Mercedes, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Alpine yet to score even 1 point. They've got the updated ones. I thought they were. I did upload the updated tables. To be fair, Darryl, right, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. It's been a fucking shit couple of weeks of work. Everything has been very, very rushed for the streams. So if it's not working, oh well, fuck it. Tough shit. Don't care. It'll have to wait till next week. I genuinely thought I'd downloaded the correct ones, but if sometimes what happens is I upload them, and if I change the page on Streamlabs, which I usually have to do when I'm doing different broadcasts, it sometimes reverts back to the old information. Let me have a look. Actually, hold the line, caller. I will see if I can fix this problem. If you wait a second, I'll have a look. Oh, you're absolutely right. That is from race number 1. Oh well, it's still looking similar to that. I don't know. I have no idea why it hasn't brought up. Let me have a look, see if I can find it. I've got them. Try that. That's the updated table there, isn't it? That's got to be right, because that's the one I uploaded today. And constructors is that one. There you go. Constructors is there. Let's get rid of that one. No, wrong one. Sorry. Hold the line, caller. Constructors. Boom. There we go. See, I told you I had it. It just didn't update. Right. Anyway, moving on. Let's get on with the racing this evening. So we are here at United States of America, and it is 5 laps. That's it. It is sprint race day today. So lap 1 of 5. Twitch Cameron is in the front of the pack. Connor in 2nd. Fingers in 3rd. Harley is in 4th. Ludvent is in 5th. Teammate Becken just behind in 6th. Who's that tanking down the order? Is it Fingers? No, it's not. Drew Cam running in 7th. Wolsey is in 8th position. BC Games in 9th. Friendly Dutch in 10th, just moving up to 10th in that AlphaTauri. Mad Max is in 11th. A. Riley in 12th. Moving up to 11th, that is Mad Max dropping. Mr. J moving up as well. Danny and Mad Max running 13th, 14th. Dunners in 15th. Blumchum 16th. Error in 17th position. The Hunter in 18th and 19th is Ryan. Some way back already. So, Connor leading the way in that Alfa Romeo. Harley moving up into second position, ahead of Cameron, his teammate, running really well. I've seen a lot of Mercedes driving really well. Digital Mercedes, that is. Real ones, though. That's completely the wrong direction, my friend. Don't know where you think you're going, but can't park that there, mate. Okay? You can't park that there, mate. Nothing is working today for me in the slightest. Literally nothing is working. And I don't know why nothing is working, but it is what it is. Tough shit now. Yeah. I don't know why nothing's working, but nothing is working. The problem is when usually I get home from work about 2 o'clock because I'm a lazy fucker and I've got time to do things, but the last couple of weeks I haven't had the benefit of that additional time because I've just been crazy busy. So I've been getting home at like 5 o'clock and then I've got broadcast to prepare for. Usually I'm prepared 2 or 3 days in a row, but it's just been with all the World Championships starting this week, it's been a little bit too busy for me to keep up. But there we go. Here's what it is. I'm here and we're getting on with it. So lap 2, sector number 1. Let's go on board with Connor, shall we? As we got a couple more corners to go around here before into this big sweeping right-hander here. And then that takes you down into this left-hander, which is your final, or your penultimate turn. Where you've got this final left-hander here, which takes you into the start-finish straight here in the US of A. What is it? Odd. So up the hill we go, sweeping around to this left-hand side. Big braking zone there for turn 1. DRS is enabled. Heading down and sweeping around to the right-hand side. Then you've got this kind of like little jinky left, right here at the Circuit of the Americas. It is left, right, all the way through there, which takes you to the end of Sector 1. Sector 2 starts with this left-hander, followed by right-hander, followed by another left-hander, which takes you round into the next DRS detection zone, and up to the second of the 2 DRS zones here at Circuit of the Americas. And into that big hairpin, which takes you down. DRS will open right about now, folks, old brother. Past the big wheel, which you can see on your left-hand side. Sticking to the right-hand side of the track there. End of DRS zone there. Then you've got your left-hander. And this is a tricky part of the racetrack because you get on the power a little bit too early and you find your back end will absolutely disappear out from behind you. You've got this left-hander here. This is the turn you really need to be worried about. You can take this relatively flat. You need to be careful through that piece there and that bit there, that your tyres are warm enough and grippy enough to get you through. But you can do it pretty much flat. You just have to be a little bit wary of your tyres. So lap 3 of 5. Connor leads from Harley, who is ahead of Fingers in the top 3 of a race. Have I died and woken up in an alternative universe? Clearly I must have done. Lutervent, he's running in 4th. He's got Friendly Dutch 5 seconds behind him. So there's at the moment Connor dominating out front, 2.7 seconds clear of Harley. Fingers then 3.4 seconds back. Lutervent just behind him, so really going to be challenging Fingers for that position. Friendly Dutch is 5.3 seconds back, and he's got a bit of a gap on BC Games though of 1.5 seconds. Riley 1.3 behind him, with Danny, oh Danny boy, 3 tenths back from Riley. Woolsey 7 tenths back from Danny. And there's Mad Max. He's really close to the back of Woolsey. Actually, he's going to give Woolsey a little bit of trouble here, or is Woolsey going to meet his demise into a Woolsey? Mr. J is a DNF already here, and there's only 1 lap remaining, and a beautiful pass there from Mad Max. He's mental in Max, and that's the view from Woolsey's car. What can you say? That's the view. Blumchum just dropping down to 11th as Becken makes the move up into 11th place. Blumchum takes that position back, though. He's not going to fuck about. He's a two-time Constructors champion. Will not be fucking around with any of that shit. Error and the Hunter up to 12th and 13th is Becken. Just dropping down a little bit. And a penalty for Fingers means that Lutvent is going to steal third from him. Ryan in 15th position. Drukam way back in 16th, of course. I say, of course, like he belongs there. That's not entirely true. Cameron, 7.5 seconds back from Drukam. And Dunners, right at the back of the pack. He is your current reigning champion, of course. And he's last. Plum last. But there is the leader, lap 5. We are on of 5. He is going to bring this very, very comfortably home. 1.9 seconds clear of Harley, with a penalty being picked up for... Well, I say that, but Connor's got penalty. Does that mean Harley is going to bring this home by virtue of penalties? Wowee woo. I've got no soundboard today because I don't know why it's not working. Essentially, I've got no soundboard. So I have to do all the sound effects myself. Harley 1.8 seconds back from Connor, but with Connor's current penalty, it looks like he's going to be nicking that number 1 spot from snatching it from Connor and putting it in his pocket. So thank you very much. That belongs to me now. And the Alpine will be at the top of the pile. Penalties. Everyone is picking up penalties here at Kota. Why are you all picking up penalties? That's an abuse of track limits there from Harley. Will he get away with it is the big burning question of the day. Here they go. They'll cross the line. Harley will take first. Connor second. Fingers. Will he be third, or is Lutvent going to nick it? Lutvent does nick it. Fingers down into 4th. Down into 5th as Friendly Dutch moves up. BC Games. Where do you end up, my friend? BC Games in 8th place as Danny and Mad Max both jumping on that finish line, and he's going to be sore after being jumped twice. Riley in 9th, Woolsey in 10th, Error 11th, Blumchum, then the Hunter, then Becken, then Drukam, then Ryan, then Dunners, then Cameron, and Mr. J did not make it to the end. Mr. J is dead. So that'd be a jingle. Could be a jingle, couldn't it? I could, while we're waiting in between the races, I could try and solve. I think I found the problem, you see. Let's have a look at this.
Johnny loves Chachi!
I fixed the soundboard. Right, so Danny is the driver of the day from that 5-lap race. Yeah, did all right. Nothing too shabby. You can't really make a judgment from that, though. But Harley nicks the win by virtue of not having a penalty, of course. That's the way to do it. And congratulations to you. I didn't do any new cartoons today. I've already got Error. Dunners, of course. Double Denim, of course, yeah. Fingers there. Riley. Woolsey. And Drukam. I didn't make any more this week because I've been too busy. And I actually don't give a fuck about anything. That's not true. Of course I do. Of course I do. Right, that's out of the way, done and dusted. It was Harley from Connor, from Lutvent from Friendly Dutch, Fingers in the Mercedes, then Danny and Mad Max, BC Games, Riley, Woolsey, Error, Blumchum, the Hunter, Becken, and Becken him closer at your peril. Why is he not letting me move on? There we go, Becken. Then we've got Drukam, Dunners, Ryan, Cameron, and Mr. J was a did not finito. There we go. So ending now, race director. What have you got for me? That's what I've got for you. What incidents do we have? Loads. Exceeding track limits mostly. A couple of collisions. Collision with Drukam, collision with Ryan. Collision with Ryan was getting the shit kicked out of him by the Hunter, by Riley. Danny had a couple of collisions with the Hunter. Mad Max had a collision with BC Games. It was a lot. It was a bit of a crash fest there towards the end. someone getting the shit kicked out of them on a regular basis. So you will note we have a new sponsor, Dubby Energy Drinks from the United States of America. They're a small but growing energy drink brand, especially formulated for gamers like you and me. No, all seriousness. Listen, if you're into that kind of thing, they are all natural products. It's not got all the shit in like you got in Red Bull and Monster and all that kind of thing. It comes in a powder form. You can order everything from their website. There is an affiliate link on the description down below. Click on it, buy some shit. You will get a discount if you use that affiliate link. If you don't use that affiliate link, you won't get a discount. So do it immediately. Have you done it yet? Or why have you not done it yet? Have you done it yet? What about now? Have you done it yet? What about now? No, seriously. Buy something, don't buy something. It's up to you. It's up to you. So, 14 laps to come. That's how it looks after the very, very short sprint race qualifying kind of scenario. It's basically a 5-lapper, balls out, flat to the floor, who can finish first kind of thingy bobby bob, which we've just had. Now we've got 14 laps, and then after 14 laps we'll do 28 laps, and after 28 laps we're going to do 40 laps, then we're going to do 80 laps. No, we're not. We're just going to do 14 and 28. That's what actually is going to happen. Circuit America's interesting racetrack, this, to be fair. My only gripe with the Circuit of the Americas is that it's not done at the same time as the other American racetracks. And I did see, I think I did share it on my social media the other day, is that they're supposed to be going more carbon neutral, and yet they fly all over the fucking place. For me, if you're going to try and be carbon neutral, do all of your European stuff at the same time, and literally just travel through Europe. Then you go and do your Asian stuff. Well, it doesn't matter where you start. Then you do your Asian stuff. Then you do your stuff in like Oceania and all that kind of thing. You know, your Australias and all that kind. Then you come back up and you do all your kind of Saudi stuff and all that bullshit. And then you can go across to the Americas and you can do Interlagos and you can do the American racetracks and you can go up to Canada and you can do all of them. And then you can come back over and do Europe, whatever. You don't need to keep flying back and forward and back and forward and back and forward, back and forward. That doesn't make you sustainable. It makes you a knob. It makes you a virtual signalling knob. Oh, look at us! Look, we're really sustainable. Look, we're using hybrid technology. Yes, but you're flying fucking massive planes full of fucking cars all over the place. Yeah, of course, it's the best thing to happen when you walk into when you enter lap one and you get absolutely entered from behind. It's what you race for, isn't it? Isn't it why you do this thing that you do? Apparently, so. So just waiting for everybody to tick in. I need to grab a drink. I didn't grab a drink before we started. I will be back in 28.5 seconds. Took me longer than planned. There was nothing in the freaking fridge. I had to go and get one from outside. I did replace it in the fridge because I'm not an arse like everybody else in my fucking house. Right, so 14 laps to come around this race track. I can't tell you how long it is because I haven't been paying too much attention, in all honesty. Still got the tail end of this cough that's been knocking about, which isn't helped by the fact that I've been chopping very, very large concrete slabs in half for about a week and a half. Well, not necessarily half, in different shapes. That's what happens when you do a patio. And breathing all that shit in as well doesn't help. So, I estimate there will be 3 safety cars today. That's my guess. Three safety cars. 3 safety cars and a virtual. How about that? So, just loading in. We are ready to go. Let's have it. That filled in the waiting time, didn't it? Yeah. 3 safety cars in the sprint alone is my estimation. Wasn't for the whole day. That was my estimation just for the sprint race, my friend. Let's see just how crashy it does become. I'd like to think it wasn't going to be that crashy, but who knows? It is Tuesday night, and we can have the odd crash fest on a Tuesday. It's not unexpected for Tuesday night crash fest. I'm just trying to plug my phone in because my battery's dead and it's not charging very well. So talk amongst yourselves while I sort this shit out. There we go. It is now plugged in. Right. It is Harley from Connor on the front row. Ludwig and Friendly Dutch on row 2. Fingers must be getting a fucking nosebleed up there on row 3 with Danny. Mad Max and BC Games on row 4. Row 5 is made up of Riley and Wolsey. Aaron Blunchum on row 6. The Hunter and Beken on row 7. Row 8 is Drew Cam and Dunners, reigning champion. Ryan and Cameron on row 9. And Mr. J at the back on row 10. And he is all alone. A Romery. He's so Romery. He ain't got nobody. There we go. That's my Team America reference. This is Late Night Racing. I'm on part. This is Black Fan Racing TV, of course, and we are at the Circuit Americas for round 3. This is the 14-lap sprint race event. They are on the formation lap, just heading towards the grid for the first time here this evening. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be 3 safety cars in the sprint race. I would love to be proven wrong. because lots of safety cars means the race just goes on for fucking ever and nothing much happens. But yeah, I'd like to see some balls out racing here from everybody. Be interesting to see what sort of tactics people employ for this first race. Of course, straight after this, we will have and this will set the grid, of course, for the feature race, which is 28 juicy laps, I think it is. Something like that. I can't freaking remember. So, Harley will lead the way. I think we'll start with Friendly Dutch. Actually, let's start with my pal Fingers. Shall we do that? Let's start with my pal Fingers to see how well he gets off the line. I don't want that view, though. I want to change the camera. I don't like the camera. We're not going to look at Fingers because I don't like the camera. Friendly Dutch instead. We need to get a view of everybody, not just the front of his stupid car. Right, where are the lights? Where are my lights, people? Turn on the lights. Here we go. 1, 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. Anyone going to jump the gun? No one jumps the gun. We will get racing. And everyone away. Any little smashy off the line? No one's bogged down. Everyone did get away relatively cleanly. And there we go. Up into the lead goes Connor. Lutvent does briefly get into second. Now makes it stick into second. Friendly Dutch losing some places, dropping down that order. Fingers holds on in 5th. Danny in 4th place. Harley in 3rd. Connor makes a great move up into the lead of this race. And who is that? Blumchum already 4 seconds back with a penalty. So clearly something went horribly wrong for Blumchum. Lap 1 of 14 and we are underway. Connor leads in the Alfa Romeo by 0.8 of a second over Lutvent. Harley is in 3rd position, half a second back, with Danny just half a second back from there. All really very close. No DRS yet, of course. Couple of laps before we see any of that. So everyone jostling for position. And ideally, want to do what Connor's doing, which is build a gap from the car behind so they cannot get any DRS when it is enabled behind you later on in the race, in a couple of laps time, of course. And obviously, the longer we go into this race without a safety car, the less chance there is there's going to be one. So it is Connor from Lutvent from Harley, Danny in 4th, Friendly Dutch is in 5th, Angry Holland, as I like to call him, Fingers and Toes in 6th, Mad Max, Mental Dave, Crazy Susan is in 7th, BC Games is in 8th place, Riley in 9th, Drew Cam is in 10th, and he's right up behind that rear wing of Riley. Can he get past that Mercedes-Benz? Ferrari versus Mercedes. Been a long time since we've seen this kind of shizzle. But no, Drew Cam just not got the pace. And Riley opens up that gap further. Becken is in 11th place in the Haas. Ryan in 12th place, really getting tight to the back of that Haas. Can he find a way through into Sector 2? They go through the SES. And he's getting close enough, but just not at the moment getting the traction. He's on those soft compound tyres. That was a good run out. Very good run from him, and he's up to 11th place. Good run there from Ryan into 11th. Although Becken going for the old switcheroo, and he takes that position back. Side by side they are. They touchy, but not in a gay way. Dunners sees his battle. He's having none of that shit. He's just like, fuck you two. I'm off ski. And Dunners takes the pair of them out up to 11th place to tuck in eventually 2.7 seconds up the road his teammate. And Becken, this battle is still raging on. And again changes hands. Becken now behind Ryan. So Dunners saw those two battling, decided to have a bit of his own little dig at them, got ahead. And now it's just changing behind them constantly. Connor's still in the lead of this race, of course. Ryan in 12th, Becken in 13th, Cameron in 14th place with Error just behind him, looking for a way through. And that was the opportunity for Cameron to make the move on Becken. And they're trading this position again. But Becken cannot hold on. He's now tanking down. Does he now fall into the loving arms of Error as BC Games loses out to Fingers? But got to be careful. And Becken making the move back on Cameron, regains that position, but only for a brief second, because Cameron back ahead of Becken. So Becken is battling all over this racetrack right now. He doesn't, when he loses a place, he really doesn't want to give up. And Cameron making a move on BC Games up into 12th. Dunners has closed now the back of Drew Cam to 0.8 of a second. An error in 15th, Hunter in 16th. Mr. J not far behind him in 17th place in that Aston Martin. With Blumchum in 18th, 20 seconds back. And right at the back of the pack, Wolsey is 19 seconds behind Blum Chum. So there is your race leader in the Alfa Romeo. It is Connor M07. He was born in 2007 under a fig tree just outside the just next to the Hackney Marshes. No, it's not true. It's not true. Of course, it's not fucking true. How ridiculous would that be? Lutvent 69. He's so called because he loves to do it the other way around. He's running in second place ahead of Harley. The BNR stands for Bought No Racing Tyres. He always races on the tyres he got from the used tyre shop down the bottom of my road, where he also gets his car washed for £8 or free if he buys a bacon sandwich. He's up to second place ahead of Lutvent, behind Connor. Danny running in fourth. He's just half a second back from that battle, still involved, very much involved in that top five. Angry Holland Man is fifth. And look at Danny. Is Danny going to make this move on Lutvent? He's up the inside. He makes the move. He is up into that top three as Harley picks up a time penalty while they try and make a move on Connor. Does Harley make this move? They're side by side. Harley on those medium compound tyres does make the move up into the lead of this race. Connor down to second, but he's not giving it up. They're side by side again as they head down the road. This time, Harley with a little bit of DRS, but it doesn't help. Those slick, soft, mushy tyres on the Alfa Romeo and the skills of Connor get him back ahead of Harley. So Harley has to serve his penalty in second, not in first. Lap 4 of 14. Danny in third, Friendly Dutch in fourth, Lutvent down to fifth now. 3.3 seconds back to the rest of the pack. Those are the top three now kind of pulling away from Friendly Dutch and Lutvent. Riley and Fingers both in the Mercedes-Benz running a very similar kind of pace at the moment, although Fingers does seem to be dropping back towards Dunners. Drew Cam has lost out big time. He's down 2.3 seconds now behind Blumchum in 18th place. As who was that? Somebody in a wall. Fingers goes into the pits. I thought he was in a wall, but he went into the pits. Friendly Dutch into the pits. Lutvent into the pits to change out some tyres. Connor still in the lead. Harley with that penalty, making another attempt at a move on Connor. He clearly got the pace, but those soft compound tyres just helping Connor stay ahead of Harley at this stage. Remember, when they change out, though, it'll be Harley on the softs and it'll be Connor on the medium tyres. And will these roles reverse? Danny sticking with them now. It's a three-way battle for the lead of this race. And you can see that rear wing open on the back of Harley's car with Danny just there, just that speck in the distance, within certainly the reach of that battle. Connor still holding out. He's putting his car in all the right places, just not leaving a gap for Harley to put that Alpine into. If he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it the hard way. He's going to have to go round the outside. And there's the spin from Connor. Talk about making it easy. He couldn't have made it any easier if he just literally just stopped the car at the side of the road. And I'm afraid, my friend,
you can't park that there, mate.
And that just promotes Harley into the lead of this race, moves Danny up into second. Danny making the move on Harley very briefly, but he wasn't. He was going into the pits. So Harley is your race leader on the medium compound tyres. We've made it to lap 6. There is no safety cars. I was wrong. No, there is one now, of course. But there wasn't one up until this point. I said there was going to be 3. And we've made it almost halfway with just 1. So Harley stays out. Everybody else gets a nice cheap pit stop. Should Harley not be doing the same thing? Or is Harley trusting that there will be another opportunity under safety car to pit? because he could be in big trouble if the safety car stays up for long enough for these guys to close up that gap on the back of him, and they probably will have that opportunity. So, time for a full rundown. Harley from Danny, they're your front two. The Mercedes-Benz of Riley in third, with the other McLaren of Mad Max in fourth. Dunners in fifth place, with Ryan just behind him in sixth. Lutivent in seventh. Angry Holland, he's in eighth. Blumjum, your friend of mine, especially from behind, is in ninth, with Cameron in 10th. Fingers and Toes is in 11th, with Drew Cam in 12th. Big Cock Games in 13th, with Connor down in 14th after his pit stop. Made a mistake, but he was in 15th. Beckent, I haven't thought of anything for him yet, I will do. He's in 16th. The Hunter is hunting nothing back there in 17th place. Wolsey is moving about as slow as a house brick in 18th, and Mr. J is 17 seconds back. I think he stopped to roll one, and he's in 19th. There is your full rundown of all 90. Well, there's 20 cars out there right now, because we've got an Aston Martin safety car in the lead. Do you know who's driving that? Alonso. The GOAT. The actual GOAT. None of this fake Lewis Hamilton GOAT shit. It's Alonso, the real GOAT. It's not a beer, it's a Pepsi. So, really busy week for Black Flag Racing TV this week. And for Black Flag Racing Team, in fact. Because it is a World Championship week. It started on Sunday with the WSR Porsche Super Cup. We had a driver in every single division. From the elite classes right through the pro groups to development and right through to the academy. Races across all of them. The academy being broadcast live this year by Black Flag Racing TV. And long may that continue. Then we move on to, we've got some stuff going on during the week. Not much though. Going to be practicing for 2 World Championship events this weekend. We've got GTFusion, which is the oldest, 15 years. This will be the 15th year it is running. It is the oldest Gran Turismo Championship in existence, and it's the GTFusion World Team Championships. That commences Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've got a number of drivers racing on the Friday in the amateur group, across the amateur group. There's 200 odd drivers. It's a ridiculous number of them, and loads of teams and 15 groups or something crazy like that. We'll be broadcasting one of the groups on Saturday. Can't remember which one. You can check them out on Facebook and find out. And then Sunday we'll be broadcasting on Sunday afternoon. We'll be broadcasting the Group B from the Pro Drivers Group. And when I say pro drivers, I mean that they are pro drivers. We're looking at drivers from teams such as Prima Racing, etc., etc. But also this weekend is the start. After last weekend, we had some great qualifying last week for the GT Champions World Cup. Safety car coming in this lap, of course. And the round one in the Viper starts this weekend. Black Flag Racing TV is exclusive coverage of Division 2 and Division 3. Division 2 starts from about 11:15 on Saturday evening. It's Saturday evening. Is it Friday or Saturday? I can't fucking remember. Yeah, it's Saturday. Saturday evening, and then at 1:30 in the morning on Sunday for the for Group 3. You can also see 1 and 4 at the same times. That number 1 will be done by the brilliant Tatiana, and I think Division 4 is being done by Chris Ball himself, who will actually be competing. Well, that's the thing, actually. I don't know if he'll be doing it now, because he qualified for Division 1. He was intending on qualifying for Division 2. He actually qualified for Division 1. So he might be racing in Division 1 and not be able to do Division 4 broadcast. We will see. Anyway, we are back racing here. Lap 8 of 14. This is a sprint race at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas. Ye fucking ha, motherfuckers. Harley leads the way. But with the penalty, he's got Danny behind him. Riley up into 3rd place. Remember, some of them haven't pit yet. And one of those that haven't pit yet is your race leader. He is banking on there being another safety car. He's going to freaking need one if he's going to be able to change those tyres out with any kind of expediency. Riley in third. Mad Max is in fourth place. Dunners up to fifth. He didn't have a great start. He was way down the order, but now he's in that top five in the Fezzer, and he's on soft compound tyres. And we all know what the reigning champion can do when he's got soft compound tyres on his Ferrari. Ryan running in sixth place. It's not a bad position to be in, although he does have a penalty. So at the moment, Danny in the best position possible, because Harley ahead of him carrying penalty to the end of this race, and of course needs to go into the pits. Let's have a look at just who hasn't stopped yet. Just one car, and that is Harley. He's the only car that hasn't stopped in this race. So everybody else is going to get past him pretty much because of how close together they are. He desperately needs one of these fuckwits to crash. But at the moment, it's not looking that way. Full rundown looks like this, and we'll go from the back and run forward, shall we? Mr. J is behind the Hunter. He is a couple of cars there's a crash. That's got to be a safety car. BC Games is all over the racetrack, and there is a safety car that Harley so desperately needed. So BC Games has died. There is bits of BC Games that we need to scrape up off the racetrack.
Joni loves Chachi.
Joni does indeed love Chachi. But what Joni does not like is bits of carbon fibre and bone and sinew all spread across a racetrack in Texas. So Harley's going to have to come in. Harley hasn't stopped. And I believe you have to stop. You do have to stop, right? I'm not under some kind of illusion that everyone stopped because they felt like it. He actually does have to stop, doesn't he? Or does he? It's a sprint race. I can't fucking remember. Enlighten me. BC Games, you can enlighten me because you crashed now. Does he have to stop? I'm sure they have to run two compounds. Right, let's run for the back. We're going to run for the back anyway. Mr. J's not in 19th anymore. He's in 18th because BC Games is dead. The Hunter running in 17th. Behind his teammate in 16th. Wolsey running in 15th in the Red Bull. Can't get to grips with this track. Error in the Aston Martin in 14th place behind Becken, who's running in 13th in the Haas. Friendly Dutch in the Alpha Tauri is 12th. Behind Fingers in the Mercedes-Benz, running in 11th position. Drucam is 10th, just inside that top 10 in the Ferrari. He's behind Cameron in the Alpine. Blumchum in the Williams, as Error picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Blumchum is in 8th place behind Lutevent. That's changing because now Harley does do that pit stop, and Harley is way down the order. Look, needed the safety car to pit, but needed to have done it last time out when everybody else did, because everyone was so close, and he wasn't close enough to the pit entrance to make the pit stop when the safety car came out. Absolutely devastating for Harley, because he's in 17th position now. He's got the pace, no question, but there's no way on this green earth, and I didn't say God's green earth because God doesn't exist, wankers, on this green earth, that Harley is going to make any way near the top three unless something goes horribly wrong, like a mass worldwide internet disconnection that affects everybody except Harley. And obviously it would need to not affect me as well, so we could document it, because otherwise we would never believe it happened. So there we go. 17th place for Harley. How many laps is he going to have to try and salvage something from this race? I said 3 safety cars, didn't I? I need one more. One more and I get a prize. That prize will be a reach around from Megan Fox. If someone could organise that, that'd be awesome. Danny leads the way in the McLaren, and I would love to see the day when McLaren start winning F1 races again. little Lando winning a world championship. How fucking awesome would that be? Who knows? Riley in second. He's up in that top 3 with the current reigning world champion of the world, Dunners, in third. Mad Max in fourth in the other McLaren. There is Ryan running in fifth. Lutivent 6th. Plumchum 7th. Cameron in 8th. Drew Cam 9th. Fingers in 10th. There he is. Friendly Dutch is in 11th. Becken is not in 12th anymore. He is in 13th. Because Error's gone in the pits, so he's back into 12th now. Wolsey in 13th. The Hunter is in 14th now. Mr. J in 15th. Harley in 16th. He's gained 1 place because Error's pit. Connor is in 17th. Remember, those two were battling it out for the lead of this race. And then the safety cars came out, and it all went very, very, very wrong. And now they're at 16th and 17th, and Danny can put his hands behind his head and lean back with a self-satisfied, smug look on his face that the guys that were challenging for the lead have disappeared. And
how dare you?
Yes, thank you, Greta, for joining us for that pile of shit. We'll see. Look, listen, anything can happen. We're on lap 14 of... sorry, no, we're not. We're on lap 11 of 14 here. This is the Circuit of the Americas. And this is the 14-lap sprint race. Feature race still to come, of course, straight up after this. And the finishing positions here will set the grid for that feature race. And we fully expect to see some really good movement from Harley and Connor. Now, ideally for them now, they'll want to kind of bust their way into that top 10 because it's the top 10 that get reversed for this race. So ideal scenario now to salvage something from this race is for Harley and Connor to somehow, when the safety car comes in at the end of this, which is lap 11, is to use the last 3 laps of this race, 12, 13 and 14, to find a way into that top 10. Because then at least they're going to be in a decent position for the start of the feature race, and maybe that can help them salvage something from what has been so far an awful race for them. As they're all bunching up, slowing down and letting that safety car will disappear into the pits, and then they'll all bunch up. And there's Connor facing in the wrong direction. You can't park that there, mate. I couldn't reach the button, sorry. Right, so let's keep a look at Dunners, because Dunners is always pretty good for a pretty racy restart, and he's in the Ferrari this time out. So we'll see what he does. Yeah, well, there's a space for you, mate. There's space for you back here. You could have done. So, is what it is. Right, so anyway, here we go. Safety car is in. Racing is back underway. It's Danny from Riley, from Dunners, from Max, from Ryan, from Lutivent, from Plumchum. Then there's some other drivers. No one cares about them because they're further back than we care to bother to look. But is that a good run from Mad Max on Dunners? Not quite good enough. Dunners on those soft compound tyres will be getting great traction out of the corners. And can he bust his way further up into that top 3? He's currently on the bottom step of the podium. 2 bigger steps for him if he can get there. We did see Harley is out of this race. I was about to say we saw Harley and Connor dominating this race early on, and it's gone horribly, horribly wrong. Drew Cam now out as well. Is this the 3rd safety car? And I can win my reach around from Megan Fox for guessing correctly. No, it's not. Absolutely gutted. But Megan, get on a flight, my love, because I may well be winning your affection. Drew Cam running was in 16th. Now he's out of the race. The error is now ahead of the missing cars. BC Games, Harley and Drew Cam all out. Danny leads the way. Riley 1.5 seconds back. Can't keep up with him. His problem at the minute is trying to keep away from Dunners, who is right up behind him. Really looking to find a way through. He's basically hanging out the back of that Mercedes like a worm out of a dog's ass. And will he be able to just force his way forward into 2nd place? And then if he does so, has he got enough about him to catch Danny, who's just put in the fastest lap of the race with a 1:37.191. Great run, he gets there, but not quite close enough into the turn 1 there. But they'll have DRS on the last lap of this race. So all Dunners needs to do is really kind of get as close as he possibly can to the back of Ronnie. He's getting quite well through those S's. And it's all about feathering your sort of gearing and your accelerator through that section. You do very little braking through those S's. It's kind of feathering the throttle to get the car moving and rotating and changing direction through that section. There is a little bit of braking, but nothing significant through there. Look at me talking about driving etiquette and standards like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, is there going to be an attempt at an overtake here? Was looking at a slightly different line into the corner. Didn't work that time out. He is just holding on, is Riley, as we come down into Sector 3. This is where we're going to see DRS enabled into the final turn, and then we'll see the rear wing open for Dunners and see whether he can get a benefit from that DRS to make the move. He's going to have 2 opportunities of DRS on Riley ahead of him. Riley's only job right now is, if he can close on Danny, he will, but he can't, and that is a great exit from Dunners. Not so great for Riley, and here we go. DRS is enabled. Rear wing open. Is it open? He didn't open his rear wing. What is occurring? Having a little run here. So, he's only going to get 1 attempt at DRS. He obviously is waiting until the next DRS zone, or he just didn't have it there. He did say DRS was available, but didn't use it. Penalty for Danny, 3 seconds. So, at the moment, he's still okay. But if Dunners can get past Riley and close that gap, then Danny could be in trouble. Or if Riley can close that gap, Danny could be in trouble. And it must bore you if you know that you've got 3-second car in front of 3.6 seconds, and then all of a sudden they pick up a 3-second penalty. You only need to find 6/10. There's Friendly Dutch picking up a penalty at the moment. Riley, Dunners, Mad Max, and Wolsey are the only drivers that do not have a penalty on board. So really difficult to tell where drivers are going to be until we get into it's good to across the finish line, and we can see where the penalties have put everybody. So Dunners not close enough to make that move on Riley. He's going to have to settle, I think, for 3rd here. Not close enough to Danny for that 3-second penalty to help them in any way, unless he's picked up some more that we don't know. We could have a look, I suppose. We do have that information available. Ooh. So yeah, it does only have 3 seconds, so that's not going to have any effect on the outcome of that top 3. Blumchum just picking up another 3 seconds. Behind Connor's got 6 and 9 seconds for Fingers. So he's going to drop down a little bit. In fact, he's going to lose out quite a lot to Wolsey. Wolsey's going to make a massive jump here. So Danny wins from Riley. Dunners in 3rd. Mad Max in 4th. Ryan in 5th. Ludovic comes home in 6th. Wolsey, massive jump up into 7th. Just by virtue of not being a dick and picking up penalties. How about them apples? Blumchum up to 8th position. Connor is up to 9th. That's a good finish for Connor, and will certainly help with the reverse grid scenario. Fingers in 10th place will start the feature race because it's reversed on pole position. So massive target for lots of people to crash into on turn 1. Driver of the day goes to Dunners, and he was floundering early on, but really did find his feet towards the tail end of that race. So there we go, 14 laps done and dusted. There is your winner. It is WRS Danny, and he will wave to his adoring fans and do a little dance and make a little love and then get down to that. And so we move on. One more race to go, of course, 28 laps, feature race. I said 3 safety cars, we got 2. I was close though. I was close. We didn't get all of the safety cars I expected. But who knows what happens in this feature race? Do we get 3? I'm going to say 3 again for the feature race. Obviously, people are going to be a little bit more conservative because it's less laps, of course. But they want to last longer into the race. So we'll see. We will see what happens in this next 28 lap feature race. So there we go. Full classification is as follows. Danny in the McLaren wins from Riley in the Mercedes. The Ferrari have Dunners in 3rd. That rounds out the top 3. Mad Max in the McLaren in 4th. Ryan for Williams in 5th. Lutivent in the Haas in 6th place, with Wolsey in Red Bull in 7th. Blumchum for Williams Racing in 8th place, and the Scottish driver Connor in the Alfa Romeo in 9th. Fingers in the Mercedes was 10th, with Friendly Dutch in 11th in the Alfa Tauri. Mr. J in the Aston Martin was 12th. 13th was a Hunter in the Alfa Romeo. The Haas of Becken in 14th, and the Aston Martin of Era in 15th. Cameron in the Alpine was 16th. 17th was Drucam, but he did not finish. Harley in the Alpine did not finish, and BC Games did not finish. So that's your 19 runners going into the features. And we will obviously reverse that grid from the sprint for this now feature race thingy. So on we move. We usually have a short break in between, so do talk amongst yourselves while I go have a wee wee. Right, I have returned. Just waiting for everyone else to return so we can crack on. 28 laps around the circuit of the Americas. See if Harley's luck can improve. To be fair, I think Harley was a victim of his own poor decision making. Everybody else diving into the pits for the tyre change. Harley opting to stay out under the safety car, and everyone just able to close up on the back of him. Did get another opportunity, but by then everyone was so close, there was no real benefit, and then Harley ends up crashing out in the Alpine and dropping down that order. So did cost himself a little bit there, unfortunately. But we'll see from now if he can improve. He said clearly looking pretty darn quick. Certainly in this particular race. No one's ticking in yet. We're still waiting for people to tick in. It does kind of drag on a little bit in between races. It's all right for you lot because you lot all disappear off and go and get a drink and have a piss and fart around, have a cigarette. I've got to sit here and waffle for about nothing for a little while. I mean, I'll do that anyway, let's be fair. But yeah, I've got to find other things to talk about. Black Flag Racing TV, what's coming up? Not a lot this week, in all honesty. Nothing on tomorrow. We usually have our GR3 on a Wednesday, but with all the World Championship races coming up this weekend, we are not doing. It's basically practice like a bitch for the World Championships and nothing else this week. Thursday we'll be back with more smoking Pirellis. That'll be season one, not season one, round one of the new season. That one will actually be at Austria. The last one was supposed to be Australia, and the overlay said Austria. It wasn't. This one will actually be at Austria. I've got that one correct. Then Friday, what's happening on Friday? Eurotrips F1's happening on Friday. Of course it is. And then I think we've got some, potentially some World Cup stuff happening. I don't think it is Friday night. It's Saturday night. I get confused. Is it Friday night and Saturday morning, or Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday night because it's in the afternoon on a Saturday in the US, which means it's on Saturday night here in the United Kingdom. So lots of races going on there. So we've got GTFusion on Saturday evening, like early evening. Then Saturday night is GT Champions. Don't get the two confused. 2 races for GT Champions. Then Sunday, we again in the evening we've got the pro groups for GTFusion, that's always really, really good. Last time we did GTFusion, I think at one stage there was a couple of lobby issues. It was back when GT7 first started. There was a few lobby issues, and I think we had 400 people interacting in the chat, just having proper full-on bants. It was really, really, really cool stream that time, if I remember rightly. But we had some lobby problems. I think it actually took about 4 hours to get it done. But get it done, we did. And then, of course, Monday we're back with more action from the absolutely brilliant series that is Gauntlet. That started with just a handful of people, and every week more people get involved because it is just such good fun. It is completely random. You have absolutely no idea where you are racing until the race starts, because it is randomised. I roll it live on the stream here, and then I set the room up, and then we go. And that's what we do. It's absolutely brilliant. And then Tuesday, obviously back to more of this shizzle yet again. Right, can we get going now? Because it is like 10:05 and everyone's had a wee. Everyone's got a drink. We've got 28 laps around the circuit in America to do. And I've got to get up early and go and lay a fucking patio. In sunny Wimbledon. Well, I say sunny Wimbledon, but it's probably going to fucking rain. Who knows? So nearly everybody ticks it in. We are now counting down, ready to go. So I think it's time for... where is it? There we go. I think I need to edit that bit of music a little bit, so I've got different timings of it depending on how long is left on the clock. But it's so difficult to tell because sometimes like it'll take 2 minutes to 2 to 3 minutes to load in. Sometimes it'll like bang through in like 35 seconds. So fuck it, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Sometimes it'll run out, sometimes it won't. So here we go. This is how it looks for your feature race this evening. Friendly Dutch will lead the way. He's on the front row with Connor for company. Blumchum and Woolsey will be on row 2 with Blumchum's teammate Ryan just behind on row 3 alongside Mad Max. And he is ahead of Dunners and Lutivent who are on row 4. Riley and Danny who were first and second in that sprint race round out the top 10 on row 5. Mr. J and the Hunter row 6. Becken and Fingers on row 7. Errol with Cameron on row 8. Row 9 is Drew Cam and Harley. And BC Games can see himself in the mirror because Reflection has joined us for the feature race here this evening. And there we have it. We have 20 of your finest motor cars for your driving and viewing pleasure around the circuit in the Americas, and 28 laps of it. And I'm calling 3 laps. Yeah, 3 safety cars. Of course there'll be 3 laps. There'll be 3 laps, and there'll be another 25 more laps. Idiot. As they say in France, le village idiot, or something along those lines. They probably don't say that in France. They probably have a cheese-related insult. Your mother smells of cheese. Your father was a hamster and your mother smelt of elderberries. Yeah, show my age again. That's, of course, from one of the greatest films ever made, The Holy Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So here we go. Race number 2. Your feature race this evening. Let's go on board with... Who are we waiting for? Let's go with Dunners, because it's giving me a nice view up the hill here at Coach. And it's quite a steep incline up to turn 1. So there is a big risk. If you can't get off that line quickly, you could get bogged down trying to get up the hill. So you really do need to get a really solid start. And that solid start will happen very soon. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4. That is 5 lights. They will go out and away we go. Good start from the Haas behind that Mercedes-Benz, but can't get tucked in. and all spread out trying to find a place on the racetrack. Friendly Dutch, Connor does make the move eventually. Gets up into the lead. Yes, he does. Connor takes the lead from Friendly Dutch right up to third. Wolsey in fourth place. Blumchum is running in fifth with Dunners in sixth. Let's have a look at places gained initially because it was a pretty frantic start. Wolsey stays exactly where he is. He started in fourth. He is fourth. Can't get worse than that or better than that. Well, you can get better than that, but you can't ask really for more than that on the first lap of the race. Connor up one place into first position. Relegates Friendly Dutch down to second. Ryan up 2 places into third. That means that someone's had to lose out, and that person that lost out was Blumchum. Dunner's up 1 to 6th. Lutevent is up 1 to first. But look at that from Harley. 10 places gained from the line. That is a phenomenal start from Harley in the Alpinas. Becken in 9th is 7 tenths back from Harley. And just up from Riley in 10th, who's got his teammate 1.3 seconds behind him. He's gained 3 places, actually. The Hunter started 12th, is 12th in the Alfa Romeo. Danny down 3, down 4 now. And Mad Max losing 7 places. So the 2 McLarens really struggling so far in this race. And did those 2 have a coming together? The 2 Mercedes-Benz are out. Who hit who? That is a safety car, or virtual safety car, at the very, very least. But it looks to me that the 2 Mercedes-Benz had a coming together and are both now out of this race on lap 1 of all laps. So not even a chance to really get going. And one hit the other. And I don't know which way round it was. But you would have to assume that as Fingers was behind Riley, it was probably that way round. Although that's not always the case. It could be that Riley lost the back end and Fingers ploughed into him like an angry man on shore leave. So there we go. A call for 3 safety cars, and on lap number 1 we get a full safety car so we can mop up the 2 Mercedes drivers. And we needed 2 cars for 2 Mercedes drivers. Now we just need a bucket for the pair of them. A mop and a bucket will mop them up, and then we'll get cracking again with more racing. What can you say about that? Greta?
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Your empty words and your broken carbon fibre. That is the new Mercedes theme tune, of course. These 2, Fingers and Riley, both out of this race. As is Cameron now as well. I don't know what happened to a Twitch Cam, but he's out of this race also with a DNF. So 3 cars gone, 3 laps gone. If we lose a car a lap, we're going to have 8 laps with just me watching an empty track. Which is unlikely. I think that's it's got to be pretty unlikely, right? I mean, what is the likelihood of us losing 1 car every lap this race? And then I suppose it just ends, doesn't it? If 1 car is left on the track, are they not just automatically declared the winner? They actually have to finish the race. I suppose they do, don't they? I suppose they still have to finish the race, because otherwise they would also be unclassified. Because we had a scenario yesterday. We had a race yesterday where the race leader managed to. It was a timed race, so over I think it was a 20-minute time race, and the race leader managed to just squeeze an extra lap in. He went across the line with like 1 second left to go, and found himself in 10th place until he completed a full lap, because everybody else obviously finished on that lead lap on the previous lap. So we were all a bit curious. Well, he's definitely going to win the race. And then it occurred to us, of course, if he'd crashed and not finished, he wouldn't have taken the win, of course. It would have reverted back to the guy who finished second and 1 lap behind him. So, safety car out. We're on lap 3. We're here in Texas for the third round of this late night racing league competition, and safety car is staying out for another lap. So that gives us a bit of time to have a look and see where we are in terms of the season, you know, what races we've got coming up essentially. Brain just froze, absolutely froze then. So try and find, I know there's a list somewhere of the races this season, but I can't find it. I will find it, and then we will go through it. I put it up, you know when you put something in a file and then you can't remember what file you put it in? That's kind of what I've got going on at the moment. Just cannot find half of the shit that I put into folders. It's because I transferred everything over from the old computer, which was relatively organised, but then I tried to get more organised and then kind of, but didn't move everything at the same time, so it's difficult to find. I'll put it down to the fact that I'm incredibly tired at the moment. I'm starting at like stupid o'clock in the morning and finishing at stupid o'clock in the afternoon in comparison. So, a safety car in this lap, hopefully. Back in 2 seconds. I've just got a message I've got to respond to. Apologies for that. We are back underway. I won't say what I wanted to say about that message I've just seen. We'll talk about this. No, we won't talk about it at all because I will fucking lose my rag. Some people are fucking idiots. Anyway, Connor leads the way from Ryan after the restart. We're on lap 5. We haven't lost anyone else. It looks like Ryan and Fingers are coming together. And Cameron is also a DNF in 18th position. Ryan in second. Wolsey is in third already. Connor putting out a 1.2 second lead over Ryan. And Ryan running really well in this race, actually. So pretty much everyone opting for the medium compound tyres to start, other than Friendly Dutch, who started on the hard tyres as Wolsey loses a place to Blumchum. Blumchum pushing his way up into that top 3. Mad Max in 12th place on the hard compound tyres. Danny in 16th on the hards, and 17th PC Games on the hards as well. Everybody else on the medium compound tyres. So Wolsey and Blumchum continually swapping positions at the moment. Blumchum in the Williams and Wolsey in the Red Bull Racing Oracle Cognizant, whatever it's called, racing team car. So that's basically how it looks at the moment. Connor is Drew complained about my driving, so I took myself out and deliberately crashed into the safety car. Why would you do that? It seems a bit counterproductive. Anyway, it's what it is. I'm a little bit thrown because I've read something and I'm absolutely fucking fuming. It's just fucking childish behaviour from a fucking grown up with children that's really starting to piss me off. No, don't do it, Andy. Don't do it. Right, Connor leads the way at 2 seconds clear now of Ryan, running in second. Blumchum in third. The two Williams cars running really, really well. And you know, it's no secret I'm a fan of Williams and a fan of McLaren. I love the British racing teams. They both are British racing teams, of course. Despite the fact that they're run by, they're probably owned now mostly by rich foreign investors. But either way, it's good to see. Oh, there's a spin from Blumchum. He does keep the car on the road, but he's going to lose a few places. How many? Well, he's 7th. 8th because he didn't quite get back up to speed. That little spin there, just a little bit eager on the power, and the traction just goes out from underneath in the back of the car, spins round to meet the front. So Ryan, little bit of a breather from his teammate. Dunner's in third, 2.2 seconds back in the Ferrari. Woolsey in the lead, Red Bull, ahead of Freddie Dutch. Funny enough, Red Bull driver last time out, now in AlphaTauri, which is essentially Red Bull Light. Okay. More grown-up behaviour going on right in front of my eyes. Loving it. Fucking hell, it's just a fucking racing game, man. Connor is still leading the way. He's 3.5 seconds clear of Ryan, 3.6 now. Dunners is 2 seconds behind, but he's starting to close that gap now on Ryan in second as Connor starts to pull away. Now, I think if Dunners wants to win this race, and he is currently leading the championship, and well on the way to winning a third drivers' championship, of course. He'll want to catch Ryan as quickly as possible, because what he doesn't want to see, he doesn't want Connor to be putting out that such a big gap out in front that it makes it difficult to catch. And then obviously from Connor's perspective, he'll be loving this right now, because if he can continue to pull that gap from Ryan in second, then he knows that the people like Dunners, who I don't mean to disparage Ryan in any way, but Dunners is a two-time world champion and is currently leading the championship. He's pretty darn quick. And if you are ahead of this guy, you'll want to be pulling as big a gap as possible, as quickly as humanly possible. We're on lap 7 of 28. Full rundown from the rear looks like this. Riley and Fingers, they're out of this race. Cameron inexplicably drove his car into the back of the safety car for no other reason than because someone had a moan about him in Discord, and they both had the hump, and he also had the hump. I don't get these silly little arguments on Discord over fucking driving. There's stewarding decisions which can fix any of those problems, but they are what they are. BC Games is ghosted out. That says to me he is not in control of that car. Danny running in 16th place. That's a big change from the sprint race where he was in the lead. Mr. J is running in 15th place ahead of those two. 7 seconds back from the Hunter. 1.1 seconds back from Error. Error is 8 tenths back from Blumchum. Well, he was until Blumchum pulled the moves on Friendly Dutch, who's dropping down on those hard compound tyres. Little coming together there between Friendly Dutch and Blumchum. And that leaves Friendly Dutch back in 14th. Was there any damage to the front wing? No, there wasn't. So Friendly Dutch has survived, but he is now back in 14th place. Becken is up into 10th. His teammate Lutvent is in 5th at the moment. He's 1.4 seconds behind Drew Cam in the Ferrari. 7 tenths to Mad Max in the McLaren. And he is 1.3 seconds behind Reflection, who can see himself in the mirrors of Harley's car because he's only 7 tenths behind Harley right now, who's now up into 6th in that Alpinus. Lutvent, as we said, in the halves, he's running in 5th position with Woolsey 1.9 seconds up. He is still sticking with Dunners, so still well in it for a top 3 here. And he's got a bit of DRS on the back of that Mercedes-Benz, the Ferrari. It's not fucking Mercedes, you bellend. He's got... do you know what it is? Because Ryan drives a Mercedes in another league, and I get confused. Dunners in that Ferrari. Woolsey is only 8 cents back, and he's got some DRS on him, so he might still be able to catch. Friendly Dutch pitting now to get rid of, I think he's getting rid of those hard compound tyres, and probably repairing a bit of damage because he was clipped. It looked by Blomcham, they had a little coming together. Dunners running in 3rd place, 2.6 seconds behind Ryan in the Williams. But Connor just pulling away out in front of them at 5.1 seconds clear for Alfa Romeo. And the gap is just getting bigger and bigger each lap. We've had one safety car already. That was on at the end of lap 1 after Fingers and Riley came together. And not in a gay way, but they did come together. And they both found themselves smashed and out of this race. Then we've also lost Cameron to a... I was going to say racing incident, but it wasn't really a racing incident. Anyway, we've lost him. Penalties for Ryan, for Ludfent, for Ben Becken, for the Hunter, and for BC Games as it stands. But Connor leading the charge. 9 laps now into this race. There's another penalty just being dished out for Harley for multiple warnings. And Circuit of the Americas, really odd racetrack. So let's go on board with Connor, actually. You can kind of see it's a very kind of there's a lot of undulation in this racetrack. This is that really tricky kind of in out. It's almost like a slalom as you go through this section. You're feathering that throttle, feathering the gears, letting off, dropping down a gear, pushing up a gear to get through that kind of thing. And it's almost you go in in kind of 5th gear, you slow down to almost 3rd by the time you come out. Then you're back on the power again as you come here for this left-hander. But you can see just how smooth Connor's making this. Just through every corner. Catching the apexes, getting on the power nice and quickly. Changing up those gears as smooth. Using the gearing quite well to slow down. But a better lift and coast as well, which will help you look after the fuel. But 5.2 seconds he's clear. And you can see here, I mean, you look at the undulations in this racetrack. You can see it just here. It's starting to climb a little bit. Then you've got almost a little bit of banking on that left hander, which helps you kind of get the car round the corner. And then this right hander is just perfectly flat. A little bit of banking there, and then another little bank here on this left hander, just to again help with the turning. But this is where you see the racetrack really rise up, and this looks like the beginning of the Zolder racetrack in Belgium, I think it is. This part here, the pits will come out here. You head up the hill to turn 1, get turned in nice and early, clip the apex, then you can get out on the green stuff and just power through for another lap. Lap 11 of 28 laps. Connor leads 8.5 seconds now from Dunners. In the pits is Ryan, Lutvent, Woolsey, and Becken, changing out those medium compound tyres for hard compound tyres. Dunners is 1.5 clear of Harley, who's got himself up to 3rd position with all those pit stops. And Reflection sees himself having a place in that top 3. It's not that joke is never going to get fucking old. I don't care how many times I say it. It's never going to get old. I'm going to keep doing it, and everyone's going to be happy about it, and everyone's going to say,
Wow, it's very nice.
It is very nice. Mad Max is 5th place, ahead of Drew Cam. But Drew Cam is really, really close to the back with just 9/10 of a second. Bit of DRS can close in there and pulling Blomchum along for the ride. Blomchum at one stage was ahead of Ryan. Obviously, he's just been in the pits, that's why he's down in 9th. But Ryan was running in that top 3. Can he get himself back there when the cars in front start to go in for their pit stops? The Hunter is becoming the hunted because Ryan is really closely tucked in behind there. And I think I've used this analogy before, but it is like a worm hanging out of a dog's arse. He's that close. I think I actually used that to describe Ryan behind Riley before. But there we go. And a little bit twitchy, the Alfa Romeo coming out of that corner. And that's just allowed Ryan to get a good run on him. But Ryan, too heavy on the power in the dirty air. Spins round. And front wing is gone. Gone. Oh, is it gone? No, I think he's still got it. I think he's still got his front wing. And did he pause his way back to righting that car then? Did he just get caught? Cheaty. I'm only joking, buddy. I don't know if you did cheat. Danny is in 12th. Ryan gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. He didn't really cut a corner. He crashed. That's a little bit weird to get that for unless of course he cut another corner. But that was a crash beforehand. A bit strange. Danny not running. He's running so well in the first race. He won it clearly in that sprint race. But here in the feature race, lap 12, he's 11th place. Struggling at the minute to get inside that top 10. Blumchum, he's on fresh, hard tyres, going to run nice and long into this race, I think. Probably somewhere around 13 or 14. In fact, I think he can probably go to the end on those tyres. Running in 12th. Becken, he is in 13th place, 14 seconds behind Blumchum. Friendly Dutch, we saw him have a little bit of a spin earlier, and he had a coming together with Blumchum. He's 5.2 seconds behind Becken, who's just picked up another time penalty. Error in 15th, 2.9 seconds behind Friendly Dutch. Oh, excuse me. Rogue Yawn came from nowhere. Ryan is 2.6 seconds behind Error. And then BC Games, he is properly ghosted out. He has decided to pause this game. Let the computer do its thing, and he's gone off to watch an episode of Bake Off with his dog. And he's, as we speak, writing down a recipe to perfect his moist buns. We've lost Twitch Cameron, we've lost Fingers, and we've lost A. Riley from this race thus far. And there is Harley leading this race as it stands. He's done 11 laps on those medium compound tyres. He'll run them as long as he possibly can. Dunn done 12 on the mediums. Reflection has done 12. I was going to make the concede himself doing more laps on them. Mad Max has done 11 on the hards. Drew Cam 11 on the mediums. There, your front runner is the only person that's done more laps than them is Mr. J. He's done 12 on those medium tyres. He's had them since the beginning of the race, and he doesn't want to let them go because they're his favourites, or something along those lines. We're watching Harley, who's currently leading this race by 2.1 seconds. Connor did his pit stop. He's come back out in 6th, and I think every car ahead of him, you're watching Outer Banks. I knew you'd pause and you were watching something else, though. See? I'm on to you, man. I'm on to you. Get back in your fucking car, man. Get back in your fucking car and drive. And if you are going to be watching anything, watch me. You're not watching fucking TV shows. You watch Black Flag flicks. Or, alternatively, get back in your car and freaking drive, motherfucker. What was I going to do? I forgot what I was going to do while I was chastising BC Games for... he's on Pornhub, really. Incognito mode, obviously. Quick question. Why does Pornhub have a share to Facebook button? Because I've never been sitting there watching porn and thought, do you know who really wants to watch these two midgets bang each other? My gran. Right, so there we go. So Harley has had a stop out in front, but it was a really, really early stop. You came crashed Harley off. To be fair, I could have come to that conclusion by myself. I'm just feeling a little bit. Someone's pissed me off today, so now I'm feeling a little bit like I want to abuse somebody because I can't abuse the person I want to abuse just yet. Right, so Reflection and Dunn as the only two drivers out there still to stop. And Reflection is really seeing himself on the podium right now in that Alpine. Boom. Here all week, of course. Not on the Alpine, sorry, in the Alpha Tauri. But he's got Dunners crawling all over the back of that car. If he got any closer, he'd be getting a piggyback. That's how close Dunners is to him at the moment. They still need to stop, of course. That will be a boon for Connor, who is at the moment trying to find a way around Mental Dave, or Mad Max as he's otherwise known. Dunners does make the move on, well, he doesn't make the move on Reflection. Reflection goes into the pits, as does Drew Cam. So Connor up into fourth. He's going to pull this move on Mad Max. They're side by side going into turn one. That's the view, and a very wide for Connor. They are side by side yet again, but he went so wide. Does he make the move now? Well, Mad Max picks up a 3-second time penalty. Connor up into the podium places yet again in the Alfa Romeo. He showed incredible pace today. Incredible pace. And probably deserved much better out of race number one. To be fair, so did Harley as well. But Harley's pit strategy was fucking woeful in that first race. And cost himself the time just by not planning very well. Dunners up into second. He still needs to pit though. How long can he conceivably stay out on those medium compound tyres? This guy saves tyres like he's actually paying for the rubber. Every time I see him on tyres that everybody else has changed out ages ago, and he just keeps going and going and going. He literally, he runs the tyres down to the wire. Do you know what I reckon? I reckon he's a scrappy, right? Because he runs the tyres down to the wire so he can take the wire out of the tyres and take them to the scrapyard. That's what it is. That's why he runs the tyres so long. Mr. J is DNF. Is that another safety car? I don't think it is. I think he's gonna quietly slip off into the distance. And BC Games. He's not actually racing. He's game crashed and he's watching Outer Banks. He's not watching Outer Banks. He's watching Bake Off and Pornhub. He's watching the Kim Kardashian sex tape. We're watching Dunners at the moment, who is the only driver not to have pit in this race. I figure he's trying to take this these medium tyres quite far into the race so he can go on to the soft compound at the end and maybe steal himself a little win-win here. Connor behind him though. Connor's looking really solid today, as is Harley, to be fair. They're both been really solid driving today. Excuse moi, s'il vous plaît. Right, let's run. We're not going to run through it. BC Games is disconnected. He's still out there though, but he has disconnected. Ryan is in the Williams. He started out so well. It's not going so well for him now because he's back in 15th. 20 seconds behind Friendly Dutch. He's not. Well, he's 28 seconds behind him because Error is into the pits. So that allows Friendly Dutch just to move up into 13th. 19 seconds is the gap to Becken in the Haas, the second of two Haas, of course. 3.6 seconds to the other Alfa Romeo of the Hunter. His teammate Connor is in that top three. Blomkamp in the Williams. Since the coming together with Friendly Dutch, those two haven't really made too many inroads further up the field. We saw Blomkamp have a little spin earlier, which cost him a few places. Drew Cam in the Ferrari. He's running in 9th. He's 1.7 behind Reflection. His teammate is Dunners is up in 2nd place. There is Reflection making the move on Woolsey up into 7th. Like Woolsey isn't there, and now Woolsey can have a look at his do his hair in the mirror. He's trying to make a move back at him, is Woolsey, but the Alpha Tauri just a little bit better out of that hairpin than the Red Bull Racing father, or the sister car, or whatever it's called, mother car, the mothership. Danny up to 6th. I criticised him about it, so he wasn't doing all that well. Let's be fair, he's in 6th. He won the sprint race, so he's got some work to do. His teammate, Mental Dave, is up in 4th place. yeah, but he's certainly got something going on here. Right, Dunner's dropping down into third as Connor moves up into the top two. How long does Dunner's leave it before he goes into the pits and changes out those tyres? He's going to have to do it eventually. It's about how long he leaves it and whether anybody else on that racetrack needs to come in. If they can all stay out on the tyres they're on now, which that can't be the case, surely, then Dunners is in trouble because he's going to have to come in and pit at some stage for tyres. No two ways about it. But maybe he's hoping for a safety car. Lutervent is also, is he disconnected as well? Because he's also gapped out, or blacked out, what's the word? Ghosted out. Maybe he's getting a 69, that's why he's Lutervent 69. Maybe he's paused his game and he's getting a 69. It's like a 99, but you bite the bottom of the cone off. Mad Max is 1.3 seconds behind Dunners at the moment. Will obviously gain that third place when Dunners dives into the pits for his first and clearly only stop of this race. He would desperately love a safety car right about now, Funk's old brother. But 2.9 seconds behind Connor, who's been looking super quick today. But 5.4 is the gap to Harley. So he's got a bit of work to do at this stage to just close in. But Harley has done 16 laps now on those medium compound tyres. Surely they can't make it to the end of this race. I think Harley is also looking for a time to come in for some soft compound tyres and give himself some better tyres to the end of the race. So I think him and Dunners will go in at a very similar time. Mad Max, 16 laps on those hard compound tyres. We may see him come in soon. Danny done 12 laps on those mediums. He may come in as well. Currently running 5th, of course. So Reflection can run to the end of this race. Bear in mind, Reflection started last. Absolute plumb, back of the grid last, 20th. Currently running in 6th. Can go to the end of the race. There's certainly one car ahead that has to pit. That's Dunners. There's no two ways about it. They haven't got a choice. It's the law. They've got to go in and get another set of tyres. There's at least 2, maybe 3 other cars ahead that probably do have to pit to change out some worn tyres and get something a little bit fresher. Now, Reflection doesn't have to. So whether they go in under safety car or not is completely irrelevant for Reflection, because Reflection will stay out either way. Unnecessary for Reflection to have to come in because the tyres are going to be lovely and fresh till the end of this race. Well, no, they won't be fresh at the end, obviously, but they're fresh now. The gap at the moment to Danny is 1.2 seconds. Danny being 11 seconds back from his teammate Mad Max. And then half second to Dunners, 5 seconds to Connor, 3.5 to the leader as we currently stand. Drew Cam is 2.8 seconds back as a time penalty for Becken. Multiple warnings. You've been told loads of times, Bredrin. Sort it out, my friend. Sort it out. Wolsey in 8th place is 1.2 behind in that Red Bull, with Blumchum 3.1 seconds behind him. All of these running, of course, to the end of this race without another stop. Of course, we say that, but of course there might be a safety car and an opportunity to come in. So we don't, never say never. I mean, don't bet your house on it, but there is a distinct possibility we won't see these guys in the pit again. Blumchum in 9th. Lutervent is in 10th in that Haas, but he is ghosted out, so he'll be tanking down that order. So there we go. Mad Max into the pits for the final time in this race, and switches to the soft compound tyre. They're going to be pretty racy for these last 8 laps. Harley has gone in as well. He's come out in 3rd with soft compound tyres. Now, how long does Dunners leave it? Look, we know Dunners is brave. We know Dunners is really smart with strategy. But how long do you conceivably leave it now? Because Connor is already 6.9 seconds clear. You're not really going to close too much on him at this stage, particularly with tyres that old. You've got Harley's just come in and put on fresh soft compound tyres behind you. Danny possibly is going to have to pit from 4th. Reflection is definitely not pitting. The longer you leave this, the harder you make your job now for running to the end of this race. Because the gaps are just going to get bigger and the opportunities are going to get smaller. So does Dunners jump in now, or is Dunners really gambling on another safety car? Because it's not a case of Dunners can try and just nurse the tyres home because they've already run 2 compounds. That's not a possibility. That's not any way on the cards. And he does finally come into the pit. So, I don't know whether he's listening or not, but good job. You needed to come in. I think this is probably the best time to have done it because, well, we'll see when you come out soon. So here comes Harley. Harley will regain 2nd and maybe have a chance at chasing down Connor for 1st. 15.4 seconds, 7 laps. Needs 2 seconds a lap. That's simple. Dunners comes back out in 3rd. Where's Danny? Danny went into the pits. That was a good move from Dunners. So, Reflection. Why is Reflection pitting? Reflection could have stayed out. Doesn't make any cotton picking sense, motherfucker. Unless you really feel that on those soft compound tyres you can have some. So Lutivent comes through on the hard compound tyres into 6th place. So this is how we are looking now for the tail end of this race. Connor leads. He's on the hard compound tyres. He leads Harley by 13.8 seconds. He was leading early doors, and then after the pit stops, has taken some time to work his way back forward, but has made it. Harley came out of the pits in 2nd. 8.5 is the gap back to Dunners, who's done the 1 mandatory pit stop. He's now on the soft compound tyres and has essentially given himself 7 laps to do a second a lap faster than Harley. So Harley needs to go 2 seconds a lap faster than Connor, and Dunners needs to go a second a lap faster than Harley for the rest of this race. Mad Max and Danny still running together, 4th and 5th. McLaren picking up loads and loads of juicy points today. And to be fair, I think Alpine are picking up their first points of the day. What they will do if Harley finishes, he just needs to finish. You can finish first, but first you must finish, kind of scenario. But yeah, he's got to finish this race first if he wants to pick up those points. But he should do. Danny's got 8.6 seconds to catch his teammate. Don't know if he's going to do that. At the moment, he's got Lutivent behind him, but Lutivent's not in that car. He's either disconnected or he's... Maybe him and BC Games are sitting next to each other on the couch watching Bake Off. Maybe Lutivent is learning how to make a sticky toffee pudding. There are people not from the UK going, what the fuck is a sticky toffee pudding? And there's people from the UK going, fancy a sticky toffee pudding. Or there's people going, don't like that shit. Drew Cam running in 8th place in the what's he in? He's in the Ferrari, isn't he? He's got Woolsey behind him in the Red Bull racing car. That gap is 5.4 seconds. Blumjump in 10th, 5.4 behind Woolsey. Where so many went in for the soft compound tyres, it's going to make it really difficult. I don't know what happened out front there, but Dunners has taken the lead of this race. So whatever happened to create the safety car, and it looks like Ryan and Jay may have been involved in that, because they're both out of this race. So Dunners leads. We've got a safety car on lap 22. This will basically neutralise this race, and everyone will tuck in nicely behind in a human centipede of race cars, with the car in front feeding the car behind, with some slipstream and some love and some dirty air. Apart from the one behind the safety car, because it's not going to churn out shit compared to the cars following it. So it'll be Dunners from Connor. This will be making the charge towards the end of this race. Crazy Dave, Harley, Danny up to 5th, winner of the sprint race, of course. Lutivent and Reflection are 6th and 7th. Lutivent, I think, will be quite quickly dispatched. Hard compound tyres and ghosted out because he's watching Bake Off for PC Games and learning how to make a sticky toffee pudding. Drew Cam in 8th place, Woolsey in 9th. We'll close that 6-second gap, what he should do over the next lap or so. Blumchan 1.9 to close. The Hunter's got 17 seconds to close. Obviously, you can't go super quick, but you can start closing up that gap. Friendly Dutch 19 seconds to close. Becken 15 seconds. 15 as well for Error. BC Games, of course, we know he's ghosted watching Bake Off. And he's been lapped a few times as well, I think. I think he's on, I'm not sure what lap he's on, but everybody else is on lap 22. Is there a way of finding out what lap he's on? I don't think there is. That's not it. No, there's no way of finding out. Bit annoying, isn't it? So, safety car here at the Circuit of the Americas. And the current champion and the championship leader, Dunners, leading the way here at the Circuit of the Americas. This is the feature race, of course, for late night racing. We've already had one 14-lap sprint type scenario. Danny and Riley picked up the top 2 places there. I can't remember who was third. Riley this time, though, didn't even make it one lap. Coming together with his teammate in the Mercedes-Benz. Means Mercedes score nil points today. And I've sat out and watched this entire race. Maybe they're watching Bake Off together as well. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Everybody's fucked up. I don't even know when Bake Off is on, or if it even is still on. I thought it was I know it moved to Channel 4 because the BBC are fucking tight-ass bitches and won't pay what things are worth. But I don't know this what night it's on or anything. I don't really watch. I don't watch baking shows. I like cooking shows, like actual food, but not pudding shows. It's boring. I find it boring. Do you know why I find it boring? Because cooking cakes takes ages, and let's be fair,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
certainly not me. Right, so we're gonna have another lap on the safety car because it would have told us already if the safety car was coming in, and I didn't see. I noticed it said so. I could be stand corrected, but the safety car is not disappearing off up the road. So one more lap, maybe two. We've already had in the previous broadcast, we had a safety car that came in with just one lap remaining, and it went proper racy for that final lap. Are we going to see that here? Are we going to have a safety car that takes us right up to lap 28? Comes at the end of lap 27. Who's that going into the pits? That is Friendly Dutch pitting under the safety car, but way too late for it to be a beneficial stop. So we know the race has been negated somewhat, and everyone's kind of closing up on each other. But Friendly Dutch tanking down the order. Are they quitting this race? That's the big question. They are actually back out on the soft compound tyre. They clearly feel that they're going to have enough pace to make something happen. Who knows? You had 6 laps of extra fuel. So you could have absolutely fucking chucked this car around towards the end there. That's a shame, isn't it? Ho-hum. Onwards and upwards. You're doing quite well in this championship and all, and this is devastating because I think aren't you second? Or you're up there somewhere anyway. And Dunners is leading now. So basically what you need Connor and Dunners to have a little tear up, basically, and then you'll be alright. Well, you won't be alright because the other people will still get points, but yeah, we'll see. Right, so is the safety car in this lap? Please tell me the safety car's coming in this lap. No message yet. We've normally got the message by now. So maybe we haven't got the safety car coming in this lap. Snoozevilles. Oh, it is. It is coming in this lap. Whoopie freaking do. So we're going to get, essentially, 4 laps of racing. Yeah, I know he's done really well in the sprint. Really well. But, if that's racing, mate, that's what a part and parcel of this thing that we do. Right, where are we? Lap 24-28. We're at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas. Yeehaw, baby, yeehaw. Dunners leads from Connor, from Mad Max, from Harley, from Danny. 2 corners to go around. The safety car is fucking off into the pits. Let's have a look from the perspective of Harley, shall we? Actually, let's go from Crazy Dave and see, because we'll see. I mean, already Dunners and Connor just trying to gap themselves, and they are off. We're underway. We are racing, and they are gone. Already 1.1 seconds clear of the chasing Crazy Dave. And that is Dunners and Connor butting out. Connor makes the move in the Alfa Romeo. Takes the lead of this race from Dunners on lap 25. Safety car goes in. Connor says, that leads mine. I'm having that back immediately. And that's what he does. He takes it for himself, roughly and from behind. And Connor is now leading this race. And can he pull away from Dunners? Harley, up into that top 3, gets past Crazy Dave into the top 3 and is now trying to chase down Dunners himself. Has he got the pace to get back into that top 2? Remember, he's been very, very quick all day. And but for a really dodgy strategy in the sprint race, probably would have won it. If he'd pit at the same time Connor did, or if he didn't win it, he might have come second. And bearing in mind that Connor then had a problem, he would have won it. So strategy let him down. So he's tucked in behind Dunners right now. This top 3 have pulled away from Mad Max. We're going to get a couple of laps of DRS. It'll be enabled end of lap 26, I think. Can't fucking remember these things. But let's have a rundown. It's Connor ahead of Dunners and pulled out an 8/10 gap. Harley is right there behind Dunners, trying to find a way through. And close as close can be, but doesn't have DRS to give that extra bit of oomph to help make that move. And this is where we'll see Dunners just spamming that ERS just to keep himself away from the clutches of Dunners of Harley behind. Harley does make the move though up the inside. Can he make it stick? Doesn't look like it. Dunners back ahead. Switcheroo maybe, little switcheroo. Does this bring Danny into the contention? Because these two are fighting it out. And that's a penalty for Harley. So, unfortunately, whatever happens now, you're going to have to get past him because you may have just handed Danny another podium here today for McLaren. Running from the back, BC Games is watching Bake Off with Luke DeVent. The pair of them both ghosted out, both watching Bake Off. BC Games wants to know how to not have a soggy bottom, and Luke DeVent is learning how to make a sticky toffee pudding. Bekent is running in 13th in the other halves. Looks like he's about to pull a move on Error. Makes that look relatively easy, but very, very deep. Very late on the brakes, and Error just says, ha, mug, and gets back into 12th place. The Hunter, at the moment, he's not being hunted, and he's not really doing much hunting. Error is 1 second behind him. He's a second behind Friendly Dutch. Friendly Dutch trying to desperately catch up with Blumchum. They had a coming together earlier, and it's cost both of them, I think, because they've never really, since that coming together, they've never really shown any pace, like any significant pace in this race anyway. Certainly not since they had a little touchy. Maybe they're, after all the touching, they're spent. Lap 27 to 28, Blumchum behind Wolsey. Opportunity to make an overtake, maybe. He's only 3/10 back. Could make it happen. Another penalty for Harley. Not content with getting 1. He wants 2. Greedy boy. Wolsey is 1.9 seconds back from Drew Cam, who is behind Reflection. Reflection really, really close to the back of Crazy Dave and trying to find a way through. Under braking, he could make this happen because the gap is only, well, at the moment, half a second. But Drew Cam now involved there with that battle. This is a 3-way battle for 5th as Blumchum gets ahead of Wolsey and puts some distance between him and Friendly Dutch. This is the rear wing open for that Drew Cam Ferrari, a couple of cars back behind this AlphaTauri of Reflection. Daddy, oh daddy boy, the pipes are calling. You run in fourth and Donna's up in third. There is Harley and Connor, he's winning. Oh, Danny boy, you've got some fucking work to do. Thank you very much, I'm here a week. Connor leads the race now, 3.7 seconds. It's going to take some monumental fuck up at this stage for him not to take the checkered flag and the big win and the check for £50, which he can then gamble for a speedboat by throwing 9 darts. Good one. Another 80s reference there for those of you in my age bracket. 3.5 seconds Harley behind, and with that penalty, he's still got some work to do to pull away from Dunners, because the penalty equates to 9 seconds. He's going to finish in fucking 27th or something insane like that. Danny moving down. Danny all the way down the order. What's going on with Danny? My singing absolutely fucked him up. He's going to gain a couple of places because of the penalties, but that has cost him some time. Big time. But into Sector 3 we go with this man. It is Connor, the Scottish Alfa Romeo driver, who's going to take the win, and a well-deserved win, to be fair, today. In first place here at the Circuit of the Americas, ahead of Harley, who, after serving his penalty, is going to drop down and out the top 3, probably out the top 5, in fact, out the top. I think it depends on the other penalties behind how far down he drops. I think the fact that Blumchum has a 9-second penalty as well might save Harley from dropping out of the top 5 potentially. So here he goes, round the final bend. Connor takes the win from Harley in second. Dunner's home in third, but Dunner's promoted to second when Harley drops down. Reflection. Didn't see himself in the top 3 when he started in 20th, but I saw it in his future, and shining back now in third position is a Reflection. But great win there for Connor. Great finish to that race. Couple of shitty safety cars, but overall good fun. And Harley looking like he's getting a sucky lovey long time, but he's probably not, because he's a nerd. No, I'm only joking. I'm joking, seriously. I'm joking. Right, there's your winner. Connor takes a big W there, dancing like a big weirdo. And he'll get his trophy, and then he'll chuck some champagne over some people. Mainly squirt it at girls in white t-shirts, because that's exactly what I would do. Misogyny is rife in this one today. Oh, it's not misogyny. It's objectification. But there we are. Is what it is. Right, so we're done. We're finished. We're finito. We'll get a full classification. This is the full classification of the race. So, Connor. No, we just go back. One man. Connor in Alfa Romeo wins from Dunners in the Ferrari. Reflection in the Alfa Tauri takes the third spot. Woolsey in the Red Bull 4th. Harley in the Alpine was 5th. Mad Max in the McLaren was 6th, with Drew Cam in the Ferrari 7th. That is all British drivers. Now, I don't care what you say, he might be Scottish, but it comes under the United Kingdom, so suck it. Danny, I think he's also from Britain as well. He's in McLaren, he's 8th. Error in the Aston Martin, he's 9th. Blumchum, I think he's British as well, he's in 10th. In the Williams, Friendly Dutch, he's not. He's from the Netherlands, and he's a very angry man back in 11th in the Alfa Tauri. Does have the fastest lap, though. The Hunter in the Alfa Romeo was 12th. Lutervent in the Haas was 13th. 14th of BC Games in the Red Bull. Those two were sat on the couch holding hands, watching Bake Off. Ryan and Mr. J and Cameron and Fingers and Riley and Becken all did not finish. Disqualified. Becken was disqualified for touching children. No, he wasn't really. That's not true. He's not a paedophile, honestly. Right, so there we go. Done and dusted. Thank you very much for joining us. That was an awesome little race. Or a couple of races that we had there. And we're going to do all this shit again next week. We'll be back for more late night racing action on a Tuesday, and it is round 4. And round 4 is it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll have the correct tables up next time properly. So thank you very much for joining me. Ignore that because we've not got the GR3 tomorrow. Yeah, it's been emotional.